There have been unbelievably powerful female characters in the comics for decades and decades. So it's always on our minds, where can we bring powerful women from the pages of the comics up onto the screen?
Natasha's not exactly a team player, but she knows that she belongs with the Avengers. Let's finish the job.
She's always been a spy, and she's always been very closed, and we get to see a little bit of what's behind that.
Always picking up after you, boys.
Joss is really interested in creating another female character that is strong.
If you step out that door, you're an Avenger.
Through Scarlet Witch and Black Widow, we're like broadening the world.
Don't do this.
What choice do we have?
I think it makes the audience more invested in the future of these characters, so that's pretty cool. The really exciting part this time around is really that we all get our opportunities to delve deeper into these characters.
We get to get further into the heads of all the Avengers and see a lot of new loyalties and friendships.
Hey, big guy.
With Black Widow and Bruce Banner, there's this sort of taming of Hulk and being able to use her as a partner.
How long before you trust me?
It's not you I don't trust.
They both have pasts that they're not really able to face, a sort of kindred spirit.
All my friends are fighters. And here comes this guy avoiding the fight because he knows he'll win.
Sounds amazing.
They've been in the game for a long time, and I think they really long for a connection. We all get our opportunities to delve deeper into the backstory of each one of these characters, and every one of the Avengers comes to the table with a lot of baggage. I think it's so fitting because Ultron is everywhere and everything and has these almost Shakespearean soliloquies at times, and I certainly think that his theatrical background is all over this.
You know, this church is in the exact center of the city.
These movies are so successful because they resonate with the audience. The characters are multifaceted and they struggle and they are unlikely heroes and sort of reluctant heroes. I think it makes the audience even that more invested in our interpersonal relationships and the future of these characters, so that's pretty cool.
We wanted to amp up Black Widow to give her some more tricks.
She lights up now. For the first time, we had a team of electricians in our department. She has different modes of off and standby and fully powered on.
The most important, aspect of my job, as an actor that's been carrying this character through not only Avengers, but from Cap and then also starting in Iron Man, is to keep a sort of steady kind of consistency with the character's arc, I think, and have the character's evolution be one that is sort of cohesive and you kind of want to feel like the character is growing as opposed to just staying the same, making decisions based on the person that we know her to be from the films that we've seen her in, and the time we've spent with her on screen. Where I think Natasha had a sort of a stealthier, or the Avengers in general had this kind of stealthy approach, and S.H.I.E.L.D. certainly had that. Now they're kind of, we're being judged in a different way. Everybody is watching us, and so it's just a different playing field. I was also so thrilled with the casting of James Spader as Ultron. I think in most actors' hands would probably be, totally over the top and, and impossible to juggle or make any sense out of. You really have to own the phrasing and, and also because this character is really psychotic, and you have to be able to kind of own the many faces of Ultron. I think the really exciting part, for me anyway, bringing Avengers to the table this time around is really that we all get our opportunities to delve deeper into the backstory of each one of these characters. And, all of us, every one of the Avengers has, you know, comes to the table with a lot of baggage. You know, we all, none of us really chose this job. It's kind of the job chose us. And, you know, that kind of reluctance to wear the superhero hat makes for very interesting backstories. And, you know, we have our sordid history, and we get to explore a little bit of that. I think the audience is going to absolutely love that.
Team Tony. Team Tony Tiger.
Our team would be Tony Stark, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Vision, and War Machine.
Pick your sides really, really carefully.
You know, there's been a few moments in these films where you kind of look around and, oh, I'm in good company, this is rad, all right, you know, I got my costume on and I'm ready to kick some booty.
We're still friends, right?
Depends on how hard you hit me.
Tony's side is a little more complex.
The surprise members of that team is Black Widow.
You partially agree with me.
I would like to take that.
This is unprecedented. I'm thrilled.
She makes an ideological choice rather than an emotional choice. The emotional choice obviously would be the side with Cap.
It's painful, I think, that she's, I don't want to say turned her back to Steve, but she's definitely, you know, she's gone a different direction.
What are you doing here?
I didn't want you to be alone.
They do care about each other. They are, in some ways, a brother and sister, but it doesn't mean they agree about everything all the time. And that's what makes Civil War so compelling, is the people that you would naturally think would flock together are split apart by something that's very real.
In the absence of Fury, she's thinking like a Nick Fury in this movie.
More guns, which means more headaches for somebody, probably us.
What makes this character really heroic is that she's kind of dug her heels in and said, look, you know, I could kind of go down this road, which would be the more desirable road personally, but she chooses this kind of greater calling. And in this film, we really see her move closer to a kind of leadership position.
You'll have to understand if we seem a little blindsided.
We knew someone was going to have to think one way and then see the consequences of their actions and turn. We chose Natasha as the one who could have a conscience ultimately and say, oh, this is too far.
She's a bit torn in her relationship with Tony. I think she really sees Tony very clearly, sees his weaknesses as being a danger for the team. Now that we find her again, and after all we know from, you know, what's happened in Avengers 2, you know, she has a greater calling. And I think that's what makes this character really heroic, is that she's kind of dug her heels in and said, look, you know, I could kind of go down this road, which would be the more desirable road personally, and you know, kind of disappear and live off the map, and you know, everybody kind of have what everybody wants, you know, but she chooses this kind of greater calling, and in this film we really see her kind of move closer to a kind of leadership position. I think that Natasha sees Black Panther as someone with a lot of potential. You know, I think she sees him as someone who's smart, emotionally grounded, and unexpected, and highly skilled. And she's interested in him. She's interested in recruiting him. I think she sees him as someone with a lot of potential. I cannot imagine anybody but Chris playing this role. It's a very difficult role to play, because on one hand, you know, you have this character has this very strong moral compass, and you know, is very righteous, and that can be, you know, you try to think, where's the conflict in that? You know, conflict is what makes characters interesting. But I think that, you know, Chris has added this, you know, I don't know, he's almost grounded this character in something very human.